Hey there, friends. Welcome to episode number 134 of It'll Be Fine, the socially distant baking food chat show. I'm your friend and your pal, Kelly Zemnickis, and it is windy as fuck today. So before I blow away from my balcony, before I get blown off, gotta tell you, today we are baking up in the kitchen the delightful, the classic date square. Oh my god, I'm stoked. I love these things. And I get to do this alongside the incredibly cool cat, the podcaster, the very funny Amber Lee. Amber is the co-host of the Dead Dad podcast, and she does that alongside the very funny Winston Hodges. And I'm just really excited. Amber's going to join me in the kitchen. We're going to get to know each other better, do a fun bake. It's going to be fine. This hair is awesome.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right, so here's what we need to make today's date square. We are going to need, of course, dates. You want pitted dates. Unless you want the work and take those pits out yourself, go for it. We need salt. I've got my Kyle salt here. We need vanilla extract, butter, unsalted, please and thank you. We need oats. I'm using maple sugar instead of dark brown sugar. We'll see how that goes. And we need all-purpose baking flour. The other thing you don't see here, we need 1.5 cups of water. And may I suggest you pair it with a Thrill coffee. Ta-da!
Yeah, ask. Before we get baking, what is the strangest magnet on your fridge?
The strangest one?
Okay. Ooh, quick. You're on it.
I don't know. Well, it might be backwards. It's like a satanic cauldron, but it's coffee, and it says the morning ritual. It's showing
I
up.
love it.
I don't know if it'll hold to my defund the police sticker.
This is a good classic treat.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks like very straightforward, and it's something I would eat and serve to guests. So perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a Bon Appetit magazine recipe from 2004.
All right, I was around.
Going back in the files. And the first thing we have to do for this recipe is preset the oven, if you haven't already, to 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, I've done it because I'm over here sweating. So I don't know what it's like. You're in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
What's the weather like today?
Today it is windy as all get out. Toronto, for those who don't know, is in Tornado Alley. So
I really had no idea. Huh.
Yeah, it can get nuts here. When you see the sky go the color of foamy green.
Yeah.
Very
scary.
It's scary. But today it's not so bad. I think we're at about 75 today.
Okay.
But for the past few days we've been clocking 110.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we've been like close to 90 or like right over 90 for a few days, but that's incredible. Like I think I make that, you're probably used to that. I make that mistake of thinking like Toronto, far north, like it's got to be like cooler, and that's not really true. Yeah.
No, this is pretty much on par with a New York City summer. It's hot, it's stick. But I mean, it's only June 15th. Like it's not
Right.
really. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hot kitchen is what I'm saying.
So once we preset our oven, what we are going to do is get these beautiful pitted dates. Please, viewers at home, buy pitted, unless you like a challenge.
Yeah. Mine are pitted. I'm trying to hold them up. This is my only mistake. I didn't bring them to room temp. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I am.
Is it okay to use profanity on this show?
Vanity? Oh my, I've forgotten sugar.
Okay, I was like, this is the only thing I fucked up, Kelly.
So these can be very sweet. Just a heads up, this isn't like a savory dessert. It can be pretty damn sweet. It gives you a good kick of sugar, and I quite like them. I'm a big fan. So
I'm gonna try one because I've got mine all heated and I added the vanilla. So
nice.
That's good.
Is
Very
it
sweet.
good? Yeah. And they're pretty darn healthy. Let me just grab this thing.
Yeah.
They've got like six. Mine's got, a good amount of iron, potassium. They're a healthy treat.
Yeah, it's good for your heart. Potassium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
This also feels to me like a very like grandma kind of classic dessert, which, I mean, you could do this with prunes as well if you were game. You could go prune.
I love prunes, actually. I've got a house full of cats and prunes.
That sounds like a new podcast title.
Cats and prunes.
Cats and prunes.
I know some people who would follow it. So.
Yeah. When making date bars or date squares, I see date square. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing.
I like the date square.
Yeah.
I think we've established I'm more of a square than a bar kind of girl. So we'll go with that. And also, I don't know what, like my face I look like I have this filter on. I mean, I think it's fine, but.
Beautiful. It's the sunlight around you.
Yeah. I just
It's all
want people to know that this isn't me.
And you can grease up your pan with butter or oil. I like using coconut oil for mine personally. Or you can just put parchment in this. Basically, we're just trying to make it not log jam onto the pan, Now speaking of podcasts,
Yeah.
how did your podcast with Winston come to be? Who got that ball started?
Yeah, I think it was Winston's idea. I often joke that I kind of had the approach like, who would want to listen to me talk about anything? And Winston is like, who wouldn't want to listen to me talk about anything? So yeah, we both, I guess to take it down take a dark turn. Our dads died of the same thing, and yeah, sorry to your audience who was just trying to bake. This is real life, Kelly.
It is real life. It goes into the bar.
These are the conversations I have in my kitchen.
Exactly.
So yeah, we were talking about it, and Winston, he has such great ideas. He's so creative, and
Yeah.
I think we should be talking about this and recording it, and people maybe like it, maybe appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that was really how it got started, and we just started with some one-on-one episodes where I really liked we talked about our concept of death and growing up, what our experiences were, be it losing pets or hearing stories about family members and kind of that family lore. And so it just went from there, and then we started having guests, and we had you on, which was amazing. So we've really benefited from people, comics in particular, just coming on, being completely vulnerable and honest about grief, and that's included people losing loved ones, people losing partners, parents, even people having family members with chronic illnesses. It's kind of gone from just talking about parents' deaths to just spanning out and covering other types of grief. So.
Oh my gosh, completely. I had such a wonderful time talking to you both. I definitely will put a link in the YouTube show description. You guys can just scroll down and click on that to the Dead Dad podcast. And because for when people ask me, oh, how did you get started in stand-up? They're expecting some awesome sauce funny story or something quirky, I was the class clown. But it's no, I lost the love of my life to cancer. And then the room just goes, oh.
No. Classic comedy genesis story. I really,
Shit, everyone, they're here. They're all soaking, stewing.
yeah. You want to see mine? Is that
Nice. Look at
they're
that.
all like,
If you ever get a little too much vanilla on your hand or you like spill some, just put it behind the ears.
oh, that's much better than licking it because it will not taste good. Did
No.
you do that when you were little, when you were a kid? Like try to drink vanilla?
I did not, but episode 2 of It'll Be Fine, and this episode today is episode 134, so you got to go back in the vault. But episode 2 of the show, Toronto comic Cliff Knight confided that he liked the smell of vanilla so much, he drank a bottle.
Yeah, it tastes horrible.
Don't do it. It's not good.
But as a child, I don't know when Cliff did this, but I was very young, so
Yeah.
that's my excuse.
I'm going to hazard a guess Cliff was old enough to know better.
Yeah.
Okay, just let the friends at home know. I just put flour in the bowl. The next thing I'm going to do are these beautiful oats.
Oh, those are lovely.
Yeah, delish. Quaker Oats, a good brand. We are going to need some sugar. This recipe calls for brown sugar. I went kind of rogue and went with maple syrup sugar.
Ooh, sounds very Canadian.
It's very Canadian. And quite frankly, I saw it in the store and I was like, I would like to buy that. So,
Yeah, I would have done that too.
will this be a good idea? I have no idea.
Mostly, I'm using what I had, which was a little bit of dark brown left and then light brown.
That is awesome. Use what you've got. If you only have granulated sugar, if you only have stevia, use it. I don't care. I'm not in your house. It doesn't matter. All right. We also need baking soda, not powder, soda.
Yeah, classic baking mistake.
I know. I think people who watch this show regularly do a shot every time I say exactly, or do a shot every time I remind you to not use one or the other.
When I was growing up, we had this neighbor, Miss McCain, who was this elderly widow, and she would bake us stuff, but she would always forget like one key ingredient. But she, like, I mean, like, God bless, she still like was like, this is good enough to give to my neighbors and tell them
Yeah.
I forgot something, but I don't know what it was. And you'd taste it and you'd immediately be like, oh, it's the sugar. There's no sugar.
Yeah, I think I am her. I feel like I have her spirit because I have done that many a time. Salt is next up. I'm using kosher, but use whatever salt you have. It doesn't say. Some recipes do. This one does not. I use kosher because kosher salt breaks down easier and will spread through a recipe a bit better.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I love like the chemistry of baking.
I know. It is kind of the coolest. I mean, I still think you can, and I do, you can fuck around with a baking recipe. Do it, but, maybe buy a measuring spoon, maybe.
My favorite thing to do is like make recipes, but also look at all the comments and then like kind of tweak things based on comments.
Definitely, especially when you're doing like a gluten-free or a vegan recipe. Sometimes I find you really have to play with the flours and the things to make it, taste with what is not there. All right. So we're going to take all this in this beautiful bowl and just give it a good whisk. Use a KitchenAid, use a hand mixer.
Oh, I mean.
Whatever you got, do it.
I was gonna say I don't have a mixer, but my mom offered me her old mixer like multiple times, and I said no because she got a new KitchenAid. And over Christmas, she came to visit, and after she left, I found her mixer in my pantry, which seems sweet, but is also like classic boundary pushing.
It's just a dry mix that we are doing. Nothing ridiculous. But if you are like me and you're at home using one of these guys, with KitchenAid. Just take a little spoon and go around the edges, even if you're hand mixing, and just get all that stuff that kind of tends to stick to the side. So you get all the
That's not what mine looks like.
nice. Nice.
What's like I will say when I cook savory things, I do like to have wine,
Oh,
but it does sometimes mess me up because I'll forget to put something in or I'll add something too early. Do you have any rules on drinking while cooking?
well, funnily enough, this is the year I decided to stop drinking.
Oh, okay.
I did it just for like, clean myself up for the start of the year. And I was like, I feel pretty good. So I'm just gonna see if I can do a whole year, which as an Eastern European is very risky.
Yeah,
This,
I imagine.
it's a wonder my parents are still talking to me, but
Yeah,
hell,
sorry, I just assumed. I should never, like, you should never just assume, like, people drink.
yeah, I mean, usually I do. I like a glass of wine. I like my scotch. I say make a little cocktail while you're making dinner. I mean, just put on some music, make a good little drink, and begin. What we do is take our butter, which should be at room temperature, but if you forget, just pluck it in a microwave. It doesn't matter, it's all good. And then what we're gonna do is just break it in. You need about a stick and a half. I'm using unsalted. If you go with salted butter, just don't add the salt that we just did.
Smart, okay.
Or if you did that, it doesn't matter. What we're just gonna do is like make it into crumbs.
Woo.
That's all we're gonna do. It's a nice activity, And if you're angry about something, you can go to town or.
Yeah, I love, like, this and gardening is so good for stress relief.
Oh, gardening. You know what I really love?
Mm.
Just pull this back up here. When it comes to gardening, I love taking weeds out of a garden.
Yeah, I need you to come down here and help me out.
I gladly will. I
Let's
gladly will.
book you a red eye.
I just find it so meditative.
No, it's great. Just like, I mean, I think there are studies that, I'll just say there's studies that show that, like, working in dirt
Yeah.
brings down, like, your blood pressure and
Yeah.
relaxes you.
Like being around pets too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I will say my garden is only neglected lately because I have all those kittens, so.
Yes. I just got the rest of my butter. So here we go. It's just like a lovely pile of sand and clumpiness.
It smells really good too. I love, like, that brown sugar and oat smell is so good.
It's awesome. All right. So what we are going to do is take half of it, and put it in our beautifully greased pan and make our base. So we're halfway done. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is going to be wonderful because I'll have date bars.
Oh. Yeah, these are things I love. Dates and squares. I'm a big fan of squares. As a square,
Same.
repping my people.
Yeah. Odie squares.
Oh man.
So just half, you said, right?
Yeah, we're going to take half because, and I'll show you in just a second here. Good enough. These hands are a mess, but we're just making a base to put that beautiful date mixture we have on our stovetop, which should be pretty cool by now. And as I say, you can put like a little parchment or aluminum foil on the bottom of this, and if you don't, want to put butter on the pan, that's fine. I will say though, if you use aluminum foil, you don't have to cook it as long.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
It makes it a little hotter. So yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah. Do not use wax paper. Just
Yeah.
don't do that. All right. Okay, I think this is good. I got my base. Looks like a beach. Beauty, the beauty. And now what we're going to do is take that date mixture and pour it over top.
Ooh.
Ta-da. All right. So, one more shot. So I'll show you here. There we go. Pour this over. Down.
Okay.
Yeah. So a bit of this, a bit of this. And yeah, this is, while this is baking, you can get a cup of coffee going, get some milk, get
Yeah.
a bourbon, whatever.
This is going to be great with coffee.
Oh, this is so good with coffee. This is a good breakfast item. This is a good dessert. This is a good, it's Tuesday, you know. How did you and Winston meet? How long have you known each other?
Probably like 3 years, maybe. Yeah. I mean, we met, I primarily do improv comedy.
Nice.
And then, you know, Richmond's not like a super big place. So people are, I think, like kind of aware of other people in the comedy scene. And
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends doing stand up. So I would go to shows. And so I met Winston. I feel like the first time I talked to Winston was at the show at this place called, I think it was called Vanguard. I hope I'm getting that right. I don't know that it's open right now, but
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Vagabond. God, Vanguard. It starts with a V, ends with a D. Yeah, so that was like the first time we talked, and we became like, you know, like we see each other and we were friends and like would message and stuff, and just one of the people, like, I really loved his comedy and thought he was really smart and funny. And yeah, and then, you know, here we go again. When his dad died, we, you know, like I reached out and was like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling for you, you know? So that kind of reconnected us, and we've continued to be just like really close, good friends. So
I love
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think we're like very different people, but I didn't say that like personality wise and all of that. But he's delightful. I'm glad to have him in my life.
Yeah. Oh, I've so enjoyed getting to know him, and I'm loving getting to know you today with this show. And yeah, it's pretty awesome how, if what happened last year hadn't happened, it's just crazy, you know, like I wouldn't know you. You wouldn't know me. I wouldn't know Winston. So
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But this doesn't have nuts because you've got an allergy.
That's right. Allergic. Great segue. Let's put this nut-free dessert.
It's a good nut-free dessert. And this is going to go into the oven for approximately, because every oven in the world, much like you and I, are different. Okay, so don't go bake this, then go, you know, to a coffee shop somewhere down the street. About 40 minutes at an oven at 350.
Oh my God, look, we made date squares. This is not a complicated dish. Look at this mess. Oh my God. It's crazy. Oh, but damn, these are going to be good.
Meet Amber. This is Dolly Parton.
Oh my God. How old is she? Hi, baby.
Old.
She's so cute.
She's not having this.
Yeah, what a sweet baby, though. She's too busy. Too busy for us.
Oh, she has kibble to eat. You know, she's got priorities. My slice came out. Got a pretty decent. Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, I have more like of a crumble going, but I tried to get a cleaner piece because I know this is for television, but I couldn't.
That's fine. Well, This is real life, friends. You know, those pictures we see on the websites or in the cookbooks, they have art directors. We do
Yeah.
not. So,
Each other.
shall we give this a go?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
Mm,
Mm,
that's really good.
mm.
I love the different textures
Oh, it's
You
the best.
in the munch.
Mm. It's
Yeah,
got that
that's
wonderful
great.
balance of like sweet and salty, which I love in a dessert.
No, this is fabulous.
Oh,
I don't like super sweet things, so this is perfect.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the date just gives you enough sweetness. Um, I'm really happy with this maple sugar,
Oh,
maple syrup sugar that I used. Doesn't kick it up too much at all.
yeah.
Mm, yeah, this is, I think it's a better choice to go, as they say, with a darker sugar because that actually gives the bake more moisture.
Okay.
So you never really should play around. I know I said earlier, like use what you've got, but you know, I mean you can.
Fast and loose earlier. You were like, who cares? Yeah, in there. You're like, what? You just got a Splenda? Go with it.
I changed my mind, Amber. I can change my mind.
It'll